loyalty, you cease to observe with the necessary vigilance. Instead, meticulously observe people's behavior over time. Do they only offer support when it's convenient for them? Do their private remarks about you differ wildly from their public ones? Do they compete with your successes rather than genuinely celebrating them? These are not insignificant details. They are undeniable signals of future betrayal. Second, build leverage. Do not rely solely on fragile emotional bonds. Cultivate value that others genuinely need, indispensable skills, far-reaching influence, critical resources. When you are truly indispensable, people will think twice before turning on you, because betrayal suddenly becomes prohibitively expensive. Machiavelli understood that true power resides not in sentimental affection, but in control, not in being loved, but in being absolutely necessary. Third, do not retaliate emotionally. When betrayal inevitably strikes, and it will, do not collapse. Do not beg. Do not fruitlessly seek closure. Understand it for what it is, a significant shift in the power dynamic. And then, pivot strategically. Withdraw. Recalibrate. Fortify your position. Do not allow one traitor to blind you to the entire battlefield. Because here's a chilling truth most people actively avoid admitting. Betrayal is an inherent part of life. You cannot entirely prevent it. You can only prepare for it. So, I urge you to ask yourself this, and engage in profound self-reflection before answering. Who in your immediate life benefits most from your silence? Who in your inner circle would feel a quiet sense of relief if you experienced a significant setback? Who do you trust simply because confronting the truth would be too uncomfortable? Pause. Reflect deeply. These are not accusations, urgent invitations to radical self-awareness. And if you've been wounded by betrayal before, share your story. Not for pity, but for the inherent strength found in vulnerability. Because your pain holds a unique power. And your scars are not weaknesses. They are your armor. The solitude of power. If you're still watching, still clinging to the notion that loyalty is a guaranteed constant, ask yourself this. If everything you offered disappeared tomorrow, your status, your resources, your perceived usefulness, who would genuinely remain? That is your answer. That is your unvarnished truth. And if you've navigated life expecting universal fairness, expecting your kindness to be repaid with unwavering devotion, expecting friends to remain steadfast when power dynamics shift, then you are in the real world. You are dwelling in a dream. Machiavelli's chilling warning echoes through time, never trust. You ascend, and suddenly, a hush falls over the room. Not out of reverence. Not out of awe. But because your very presence now starkly reminds others of their own perceived smallness. Power isolates, not by conscious choice, but by its very nature. And the higher you climb, the more acutely you realize, no one applauds when the king enters the room. They bow, or they silently scheme. Machiavelli understood this cruel paradox. He cautioned rulers to never become dependent on fleeting affection, never to seek solace in public opinion, and never to confuse mere proximity with genuine loyalty. Because when you wield true power, not mere popularity, but genuine influence, you inevitably forfeit something that most people desperately cling to throughout their lives. The comfortable illusion of companionship. Let's be brutally honest. Most people desire your success, just not more than their own. They will support you until your light begins to eclipse theirs. They will praise you until your strength threatens their established position. They will walk alongside you, but only if the path remains comfortable and familiar. But venture too far ahead, and you will, inevitably, walk alone. That profound solitude is not a punishment. It is the natural gravity of power. Because to think independently, to act without seeking constant permission, to carve your own unique path through a world built on rigid conformity, is to become a perplexing anomaly to the masses. The more inherently dangerous you appear. People do not envy what they readily understand. They envy what they cannot control. And nothing is more terrifying to the average individual than a person who refuses to flinch, refuses to beg, refuses to explain, refuses to need them. Machiavelli advised princes to cultivate the discipline of being alone with their thoughts, because in solitude, profound clarity is born. And in clarity, sophisticated strategy flourishes. But let's not pretend it's an effortless journey. There is an inherent coldness to sovereignty. It demands walking without the comfort of applause. It necessitates making decisions that will never earn you public praise. It requires the courage to utter no when it's an automatic yes. It means inevitably losing people, not because you inflicted harm, but because you simply stopped needing them. Here's the harsh truth. Most relationships are fundamentally based on mutual need. Remove the need, and you often sever the bond. Grow strong enough to genuinely rely on no one, and observe how many gracefully vanish from your orbit. But grasp this profound insight. This is sacred. Because in that profound silence, in that complete detachment from social craving, you unearth the most potent truth of all. You are enough. Not in a superficial, self-help, motivational poster kind of way, but in the raw, unyielding Machiavellian sense. You possess within you the innate capacity to stand alone, and still decisively move the world. Solitude is independence. Solitude does not equate to isolation. It means independence. It means becoming your own wisest counsel. It means trusting your own deep instincts far more than the fickle opinions of the crowd. When you no longer crave external validation,